All right, we have a really exciting podcast today. I'm very excited. I've got Mr. Dr. Geoff Rudy, and I have Michaelene Risley with the Imbibe pillow, the naturally nurturing sleep, which is a groundbreaking product that is now being introduced. I'm very blessed and very excited, number one, to have you on the podcast, and number two, to actually have my hands on this technology, which is absolutely amazing. So, with that being said, Dr. Rudy and Michaeline, welcome to the podcast and thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
We're
thank you, Sean.
So, the Imbibe pillow is really a cutting edge, state of the art piece of technology. I actually have two of them here, which we're going to talk about. I have the thin and I have the thick. And Dr. Rudy, do you want to give us a little bit of background about the product, the pillow, kind of how you developed that and where that came from, and kind of the development phase of where that's going now and the effects and benefits of it?
Yeah, well, it actually started many, many years ago when Michaelene was a client of mine in the Silicon Valley. She had suffered from a back fusion and back problems, and I had had a reconstructed back fusion. And back then, we had been talking about how neither of us had been able to have good quality sleep, and that one day we wanted to invent a really amazing product that was going to be able to, one, help us sleep better, but also be able to kind of transform the sleep industry. Fast forward to COVID, when a lot of people had extra time on their hands, Michaeline and I got together and said, listen, this is the time for us to put our brains together and see if we can come up with a product that works for ourselves and also the consumer population. And we started designing pillows. Started out with orthopedic designs, specifically for back sleepers, side sleepers, back and side sleepers. We extended into the hospitality hotel management industry for luxury hotel pillows, which is the ones that we have launched first, which is our Pearl product, which is the thin and the thin, which you received. We culminated the designs of the pillows with technology of using nanoparticle elemental infusion. So basically, we're using polyurethane foam and we are infusing the pillow with billions of nanoparticles of copper and silver together combined, suspended in the polyurethane foam, so that the electrostatic energy of both the combinations of the +2 charge of the copper and the silver, when you squish the pillow and those ions come closer together, the electrostatic energy works by dissipating heat. And it also is fantastic for fighting against microbes and fungi, as it happens to be kryptonite for the cell wall structure and the replication of bacteria and also viruses and funguses. So we're really, really happy and pleased with the testing and results and really excited for where we're going to go next.
Sean,
That is, go ahead.
sorry, Sean, you probably know this statistic, but think about this. We were so excited about it because 1 in 3 adults don't sleep properly. They have trouble sleeping, and there's so many implications from that. And for us, we both had sleep issues, not only from spinal injuries, but we could never find the right pillow. And one of the challenges, think about it, what is there, 8.5 billion people in the world? We still have the same square shape, and there's so many different shapes and sizes. It makes no sense.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. And Dr. Rudy, and also Michaeline, I've never ever heard of copper and silver being put into the foam. That just blows me away. And being in the medical industry, um, I I sell a lot of products that have either silver or copper in them because, as you noted, it is an antimicrobial. So nothing can survive, no pathogens, viruses, bacteria. When it hits that surface, it is gone. And, that's very cutting edge because even in the medical industry, I set up a lot of surgery centers. They're still running around with stainless steel. And, something as simple as MRSA can survive for 3 months on stainless steel. It won't last more than 10 minutes on copper. And, but to integrate all those technologies with the ions and with the heat dissipation, that is really very state of the art. That's very cutting edge. How did you come about putting that in play and utilizing that?
Michaelene, go ahead.
Well, I think it was a series of tests. So we were very lucky because Geoff has two clinics in Fort Lauderdale, Miami area. So as we iterated on different types of pillows, he could test them on patients. So that was incredible for us. And what we looked at is we looked at the market. I think I've tried every single pillow in the market. And we looked at it and it's like, well, wait a minute. Why couldn't we put all the bells and whistles into one pillow? Because it doesn't exist. And so as we began to look at that, we even went back. So we have Leggett and Platt is the largest bedding manufacturer in the world, and they're our partner on this. And so we were pushing them a little bit. Well, wait a minute. Let's put both of them together. Let's put the PCM in there. And, the response has been remarkable. I would love Geoff. Geoff, can you talk a little bit about the camera and what we've measured the heat dissipation?
Yeah, so we've, as Michaelene said, been grateful to have Leggett and Platt working with us in Peterson, and they have run some test reports for us based on some of the data that we've collected over the years. We keep tweaking the product over the years, increasing the grams per square inch of copper and silver, and making sure that we're getting the right quantity so that it does have the antifungal effects and passing the G21 testing, etc. The testing reports that come back from Peterson show that over 60 minutes of laying a body temperature of 98.6 degrees, per se, that the body temperature is dropping about 5 degrees temperature. I used a thermal camera, and it performs in Celsius. Now, when you touch your surface temperature, at about 30 plus degrees of your hand or your face, on top of our pillows, and you hold your hand there and you take your hand away, you're going to see the surface temperature drop like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 degrees Celsius. As a consumer, you will definitely feel the cooling effect. The goal for us is to be able to make sure that we're adding not only the elemental nanoparticle infusions to the product, but the designs and the shapes. But we've added PCM on both sides, which is phase changing material for the aqua coolant gel, which is basically a water and wax material with coolant gel that's sprayed into the foam. And that unique combination is what keeps you cool and keeps you cool at night. So the first 60 minutes is really the most important when people are trying to fall asleep. They're hot, they're uncomfortable. The PCM aqua coolant gel lasts for about 60 minutes before the body starts to regulate with the pillow. And that's where our silver comes in, because silver is a phase-changing material. You bring those ions closer together, it works with that electrostatic energy, and it dissipates the heat throughout the rest of the night, keeping you asleep and keeping you comfortable so you're not constantly tossing and turning.
I love
Well,
that. That's amazing. Go ahead, Michaeline.
I was just going to say, and also built within the pillow is a special airflow technology
Hmm.
that also absorbs and liberates the excess heat to maintain that body's temperature. So we literally have put every possible way to help you sleep. This is so much about wellness and good sleep.
Now, for anybody that's out there, I know you can't physically touch this pillow, but I'm going to tell you I am. And this is solid. It's so thick and so like I'd want to go to sleep right now, just put my arms around it. But I'm going to stay awake and be on this podcast. But, once again, being in the medical industry, one thing that I know very well is that polyurethane and really high-end ingredients is what gives you that really soft sponging. It's what we call memory. And this is a super high quality pillow. Now, if anybody's had the cheap pillows, what happens is that the memory, because they're compensating or shortening the raw materials, the quality materials that you're putting in there, you lose the memory. And then all of a sudden you've got divots, and then you're trying to fold the thing in half, and then you're trying to bend it in half. Like with this right here, I can really feel like the quality and the sponging effect. I'd like to talk about the benefits of cooling, right? We're talking about it lowers the temperature, but Dr. Geoff or even Michaeline, the benefits of cooling obviously are improved sleep. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, you're going to have the certain phases of N1, 2, 3 sleep as you start entering into a sleep cycle, and your body is going to want to downregulate temperature. This will assist in down regulating that temperature, which will get you into that first phase of sleep where you'll solidly start getting into it so you can get into that REM cycle. And I notice, for me, I usually sleep really, really warm. Falling asleep for me is the hardest problem. When I lay on these products before I go to bed at night, it feels so luxurious and cold and cool, and I fall asleep like that. And I
I
stay
love that.
asleep, which is fantastic. Um, Michaelene, do you have anything to add?
I was just going to say, one of my dear friends who actually one of the pillows is named after. When she was battling cancer, I sent her a prototype and we didn't have the covers yet. And she called me like, did you spill something on this pillow? It's so cold. I go, no, that is the point.
That
I
is
also want to
awesome.
say too that, women in menopause, this is such an important pillow, but also I don't think we talk a lot about how men get so hot as well. So I think it's a universal issue.
I know I do. I know when I sleep at night, and I do have heat dissipating mattress technology and other different things, not pillow. And that's really big because your head is really, regulating a lot of what's going on. And being from Minnesota, where, you're going to get 30 below weather, your head is one of the first things that you're either going to cover or uncover. So that's obviously very important. Now, Dr. Geoff, because you do have that clinic, you're able to do firsthand feedback. I think that's really important because, like, it's a gradual process. It's a modification and making all these different tweaks. Tell us about some of the feedback that you get from some of your clients that you see down there in Florida.
Well, it's been great because I've been able to access general population patients as well as working with professional athletes, which I specialize in, mainly football players and Major League Baseball teams. And I get an entire gamut of people from one, end of the spectrum to another. The most common thing that I see in the clinic is a condition that is becoming more of a buzzword, which is text neck, and that is where the reversal of the cervical curvature in your neck starts to go forwards and straight. In medicine, we would call it military neck, where the vertebrae start shifting forwards. Obviously, in this day and age, we do a lot of work on computers, we're constantly on our cell phones, and your head starts to shift forwards over top of the vertebral column. So every inch forwards that your head goes, now imagine that your head is, about 12, 13, 14 pounds, and you had a bowling ball in your hand and you held the bowling ball to your chest. You could probably hold it there, for a period of time without getting tired or fatigued. If you put that bowling ball 1 inch forward, it's going to get really, really heavy. If you put it 2 inches forward, it's going to get super heavy. You put it about 3 inches forward, you're probably going to be able to hold it for about 15, 20 seconds before your arms start shaking, your neck gets tired. It's very similar with your head and your skull. As your head shifts forwards, that pressure is going to be put on your cervical spine and the muscles start to compensate. You get neck pain, you get occipital pain, you get headaches, you get trapezius pain. People constantly all coming in with saying I'm getting spasms in my neck constantly. I've been able to test the products on live patients who suffer from conditions like this, that being just one of many. And we've been able to use the products over time and be able to create new products that are going to be able to change some of those conditions, but also improve and tweak the products that we currently have to make sure that it's fitting the majority of the mass of the population of people.
I love that. And I know from talking to you prior and also with you, Michaeline, that there are real, like spinal, like there's real true medical benefits with spinal alignment, alignment of the neck. I mean, you're talking now about the forward part of it, but for somebody like myself who's a side sleeper, to have that right vertebrae and that right alignment of the neck, can you talk a little bit about that and the benefits of that as well?
Yeah, when we did our side sleeping pillow, the project was basically trying to make sure that we were getting neutral positioning in the spine so that the head was completely lined up with the spinal column all the way down to the lumbar and also the pelvic region. Um, the problem that we were having was a lot of the pillows that are on the market do not take into account your shoulder. So what we did was we put a shoulder holder position into our side sleeping pillow so that there's a position where you can get into where the pillow will actually hug your shoulder and it will inhibit the ability for you to want to constantly lift your shoulder up at night or put your arm under the pillow to lift your head up a little higher or a little bit lower. And in the testing that we did with patients, it was actually holding their shoulder in the correct position. And with their arm directly out in front of them, they were having less shoulder pain. They were having less headaches, less trap pain. Um, and the data that we collected from it went into the design of our Luna and Aruna pillows. We decided to take some of that information. Now we have a database of over 500 patients and people who have volunteered for this, and collected, all sorts of different data from what they're using, what they position they sleep in, are they hot, they cold, measured their bodies, the distance between their shoulder and the midline of their neck, the distance between their trap and their ear and their occiput. So all of that data went into creating the sizes that we are now using that would fit the majority of people. And we want to make sure that when we're developing products that we're putting science behind it. We're not just, throwing something and say, let's just put this out on the market and see what we can sell. We wanted to put a lot of research and time and energy into making sure that there was science, evidence-based information and factual testing and data that was done to show that the product is actually working and changing the sleeping positions, thus improving sleep quality.
That's
A couple of things
amazing.
I'd love to
Go
add,
ahead, Mike.
because it's really fascinating. If you look at market conditions on the pillow, the market is saturated, right? And when you talk to groups that have released pillows, it's more about how many marketing dollars they can put out to sell pillows. And a number of executives have told me this. And so it's really not about the quality of the pillow. And so we've done it in reverse. It is about how do we make great pillows. And a couple things that were fascinating in the process is as we put the copper, silver, and the coolant gel in, and we started prototyping even the Jilly, right? So the Jilly is the back sleeping pillow, and Geoff can talk about it from a medical perspective. But I got calls from friends saying, Mike, it stopped my snoring. Mike, it cleared my ears. And so I picked up the phone and called Leggett and Platt. And I said, hey, we keep getting these comments. Is it the combination of copper, silver, and coolant gel? And they said, no, it's your shapes. Geoff, can you talk briefly about the Jilly and what it does?
Yeah, so the Jilly is a back sleeping pillow. Now, it's unique and different from other back sleeping pillows in the fact that it's not just taking into consideration your cervical spine. It's taking into consideration a little lower than your cervical spine, which is called your cervicothoracic region. Now, that particular area, as most of us know, when we're at computers for long periods of hours, we start to slump forwards. We have a ramp that we actually built into the pillow that goes in that cervical thoracic region. And we sloped it on the side so that as you're laying back into extension over the pillow, as you go up the ramp, your shoulders are actually going to open up into extension. It's going to broaden and open this position, and your head will lay back over our patented curvature, which has two wings on each side. It'll hold you in a neutral cervical spine as you're sleeping. We have a patented head pocket, which actually would hold your head in the position. And then the wings on each side prevent you from turning your head from side to side. Over a period of time from using this product, you're changing people's hypolordosis or military neck, and you're starting to put a little bit of a curve in it. Now, if you imagine if you're sleeping 6, 7, 8 hours a night, you do this obviously using this product for 365 days a year, it is definitely going to change and reverse what most of us do in our daily lives that are causing the problem. So using sleep as a way to not only improve posture and improve your sleep, we're actually restoring functionality to the body and inducing what we call imbibation, which is the name of our company, Imbibe. Now, imbibation is a process. If you can get the spinal discs and the vertebra in the right alignment during sleep with a little bit of almost like a traction to pull them apart, then imbibation is the hydration of fluids that come into your discs at night and we'll start filling those discs like a balloon with fluid. Now, as the course of the day goes on, we're standing up, we've got gravity coming down. The discs are going to actually extract a little bit of fluid. So you'll be shorter when you're standing at night versus when you wake up in the morning. Using our products, and we're putting ourselves in the process of encouraging more imbibition, encouraging more nutrients, more flow into the tissues at night will help with not only conditions such as stenosis, but the cervical spine issues. It'll help with discs and bulging discs and headaches and a whole bunch of other common conditions that will result as of having poor posture and poor functionality throughout the day. So using our product at night is almost a way of reversing it and using sleep as a way to conduit that.
I'm hoping that I get taller.
Yeah, well, everybody wants to get a little bit taller, but it's natural that over the course of time that, we do start to shrink a little bit. And that's, like you said, that's kind of just the natural process. But being able to open up those vertebrae, not only for health reasons to get the fluids in there, but also to, maintain your height and not shrink down so fast or as much. That's really amazing. Uh, Geoff, what are the percentages of people that sleep on their back compared to people that sleep on their side? Do you know what that data is?
I don't have the correct numbers and data for that. It's all over the board. With our database that we have, the majority of people are side sleepers, or they're side back sleepers. We have very few stomach sleepers. Don't encourage you to sleep on your stomach. However, if you are going to sleep on your stomach, the product that you have behind you, which is the Pearl Thin, is fantastic because it's thin enough that you can lay on your stomach, and people like to, do this on their pillow with their head to one side. The interesting thing, circling back to the Jilly, that I wanted to mention was we started out designing it for the intended purpose of increasing inhibition, increasing better sleep for people who prefer to sleep on their back, which is better for you, biomechanically throughout the evening. And we had a lot of people come to us and say, man, this thing would be absolutely fantastic for anyone in a dermatology office who's had any type of facial work done, any dental work, where the medical doctors tell the patients to not move their head at night. When you're having an oral surgery or dental work done or any type of dermatology work, the doctors tell you to sleep flat on your back. And if you have to, put rolled up towels on each side so it will inhibit your body from trying to turn from one side to another. When we started showing this to dermatology clinics around Miami and Fort Lauderdale, it was shocking to us the number of people that were like, when is this product coming out on the market? Every single dermatology office in the country needs to be able to prescribe this when the patient goes out the door in order to keep my work that I just did in the office effective and safe for you. You need to purchase this product, which is going to secure not only your health and the work that was performed, but it's also going to make sure that the effectiveness of the procedures or whatever would be lasting and obviously 100% efficacy.
That's really amazing. Yeah, because the medical purpose or the medical practitioners literally could be stocking these in their facilities and making this a part of the procedure. So this is actually part of the whole process, which is the recovery mode with that. Michaelene, is there anything you'd like to add to what Dr. Geoff just talked about?
No, I think I'd love to. I don't know if this is the right time, but I'd love to sort of we sort of give a shout out to our first brick and mortar store. Um,
Yes.
so if you happen to find yourself in Bellevue, Washington, you can test out both the thick and thin uh, at the Sleep Store. And if you can go to the website too at the Sleep Store USA, we're pretty excited that we got our first brick and mortar. And then we are also going to be at the Pre-Grammy Awards Lounge on February 1st. We will be showcased, the Pearl will be showcased in the celebrity swag bags.
This is coming to Hollywood, and this is coming to everybody and all All the big TV stars are going to have this. Now, I've got both of them here. I've got the thick and the thin. I'm trying to put them next to each other here. But Dr. Geoff, what would be the breakdown? Like, what would be the breakdown for you to say, okay, I'm going to be more suited for the thin or the thick? Is there like a height or a size, or what is it that allows you to figure out what is the best product for you?
Yeah, so we took a lot of time in data collecting in the 500, case studies that we took, the measurements, and we put a lot of time and energy into a sizing chart. So if you go to our website, you'll be able to find a sizing and a measuring chart, which will uh, have very, very, very good descriptions on how to select the right size for the consumer based on very, very quick and easy, simple measurements. And in some cases, like most things, the it's just a tool and a guide. Some people might prefer something a little bit thinner, some people might prefer something a little bit thicker, but the sizing guide that we've created has been pretty accurate to be able to fit the majority of the consumers that are looking for it. So if you just go to our website at imbibelifestyles.com, you'll be able to check out the sizing chart that's on there, and you can scroll through the page under the pearl thick and thin, and it'll tell you exactly how to measure yourself so that you don't have any questions and saying, gosh, I'm not really sure. Maybe I should just get the thin or the thick. And all of our pillows have a sizing chart that's correlated to them.
That's awesome.
Interestingly enough, we actually, when we first started out years ago, we were going to do an app that you could measure the weight of your head in certain elements so you could figure out the sizing. And what we realized with all the testing is that the increments were so small, we did not need the app.
That's really cool. And hey, you want to hear some other really good news?
Yes.
We're
Please.
your second brick and mortar because we've got the product right here, baby, in Richmond, Virginia. And we now also have the ability for people to come to our location and test drive the pillow, check out the pillow, lay down. We've got, the beds and everything here. Obviously, we have a lot of other technology, but we've had people coming in going, wow, that's really comfortable, and, giving them some information. And I told them, well, I've got a call coming up. This is literally, we're at the precipice of a launch right now that's super exciting. And once again, I'm very grateful and very blessed to be a part of this and to be able to get this technology out to the world. But if anybody's out there, we're going to have a big open house here on Tuesday of next week. And we're going to have 30, 40, 50 people or more here. And so, but we're ongoing. We have a big showroom. We have obviously a big facility here. So anybody also seeing this is always more than welcome to not only, test drive technology, but come test out this Imbibe pillow. And you are welcome to sleep here. Like, you can pass out for 2, 3 hours. We'll shut the door. We'll put on the crickets music in the background. You'll be happy and sleep well. And then you could pick out the pillow that you'd like to take home with you. Thick, thin, you can try them both. The jelly pillow, I think we're gonna, we'll have that coming here soon for anybody that's sleeping on their back. But I think, primarily for myself, we started with the thick and the thin, with this original model, simply because that's the majority of what we do here at the office. So with that being said, and we're going to have it on our website. We'll have, people can buy it online, all these great things. But in kind of wrapping this up, I'd like to give each one of you like a final word here before we wrap up our first call. And this will be ongoing. We will be circling back. We'll be talking about exciting testimonials. Dr. Geoff, you're working with a lot of professional athletes, and we don't need to mention any names. However, we can talk about, some of the injuries, some of the recovery, reducing inflammation, some of the other things that go along with the benefits of this product. But with that being said, Michaelene, I'll turn over to you and then to Dr. Geoff, and we'll go ahead and wrap up this first call.
Okay, this is a message for your audience. If you're craving a restful, restorative night's sleep, you get a chance to win a free Imbibe Lifestyle Pearl Pillow. You simply email us at info@imbibelifestyles.com with your full name, and we'll get a drawing going. So get a chance to win a great pillow and get a good night's sleep.
I love that. And then once you get that great pillow, share your feedback and share the word and share the excitement of actually getting deeper, better, restful sleep. Dr. Geoff, sir, anything you'd like to say to finish off this first call?
It's a pleasure being able to come on today and just share the wealth of information and knowledge that we've done in all of our years of testing, trying to create this amazing product. The way that we look at it is it's not a selfish thing to say that we want to share this with the world. We want to be able to have this product shared by everybody. It's a shame to kind of keep this a low scale kind of operation because the efficacy is so great and the product has been so well received that we're excited to just share this with everybody.
Love that. This is a product that should be in everybody's homes. And I do want to circle back again that this is a labor of love, right? Like this pillow and this phone call and this whole thing that we're doing did not happen because you had a great idea. And you just said that it came with scientific data, it came with testing, it came with revisions, it came with data, it came with, I mean, this has been a project that I know for both of you is put in thousands, if not tens of thousands of hours of research, development, phone calls. Like this is done out of love, passion, and wanting to make the world a better place. And I think that, to finish this off, that's where all great technology comes from, is wanting to serve and wanting to make the world better. And I am so grateful once again to be a part of this journey with you and launch the product today on this podcast. And with that being said, once again, feel free. You could go to our website, send the email to Michaelene, get that free pillow, share your feedback. You can also email us. We'll email her, but we'll have the info at, what is it again, Michaelene?
info@imbibelifestyles.com.
ImbibeLifestyles.com. And on our website also, by the way, the pricing on these is very, very moderate. Like you're pricing these to hit the general populace and be very affordable. And on the website, with our website, we have something called Shop Pay, so that can be broken down into 4 payments. But the prices and everything of the product are very, very, very affordable. And with that being said, I'll go ahead and wrap up the call today. But thank you so much, Michaelene. Thank you, Dr. Geoff, for your time today. God bless you and your efforts. And let's get this pillow out to the world.
Woohoo! Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great
Thank
one.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.